It's your girl Desi Des, and this is 7 Things Introverts Wish Strangers Knew. Let's get into it. Coming in hot at number 1, introverts don't stare on purpose. Let me first start off by saying introverts find ourselves in a constant state of reflecting and observing. So if it looks like we're looking at you, most likely we're not. Your face just happens to be in the tunnel vision of our thoughts. Our thoughts are quite endless. You might be thinking, why is that person over there staring and grinning at me? It's because an introvert was thinking about something that happened earlier on in the day that made them laugh, and you just happen to be the one that their eyes went to, is really all that was. Now, on the other hand, if an introvert is staring at you and it's not on purpose, they might be subconsciously thinking about you and reflecting and observing you in that moment because they like you. Introvert or not, people can't help staring at the ones that they find attractive. And so if an introvert likes you, that's another reason why they may be staring at you. Like I said, our thoughts are endless. So for us, in this moment, if we like you, staring goes beyond infatuation. We've actually observed you, we're thinking about you, now you're there and we're looking at you because we can't help it. If we are staring at you and you happen to approach us, most likely we'll be ready to talk and then we can engage from there. Number 2, introverts speak to who they want to speak to. Many people like to put introverts in a box, saying that we're shy or we don't have much to say, different things like that. When in reality, we're not talking to you because we don't want to. I know that all introverts are different, but introverts back me up here. We talk to people we like. So if you're a stranger and we like you or we're interested or we're attracted to you at first sight, then yes, we're going to want to talk to you. Otherwise, we're not. Or if we find ourselves in situations or social events to where we're meeting new people, if there's nothing interesting that catches our eye, whether it's conversation or the way you look, I don't know, we're not going to want to talk to you, and we're aware that we don't have to. And we don't have to. And for the ones that don't have the ability to form a sentence or they get really, really nervous in social situations, they find ways to talk to people that they want to talk to. So stop making excuses for introverts. If we're not talking to you, it's because we don't want to. We talk when we have to talk, like at work or if we're in a sport or if we're at a club, whatever the case may be. But if we find ourselves in situations where we don't have to engage in conversation, we won't, and we usually don't. So if you notice that maybe you're speaking with the introvert, someone who you might have thought was initially shy until you met them and started talking to them, if that person is actually engaging in back and forth conversation with you, it's because they actually want to. Number 3, introverts do not crave attention. I don't know what it is or how it happens, how it comes about, but introverts seem to attract a lot of attention from others. I wonder if it's because of our uniqueness or our originality or the outcome of our self-reflection and our self-awareness. I don't know. Maybe that's refreshing. I don't know what the case is, but we seem to draw a lot of attention. So much so that some of us try to do what we can to avoid certain attentions. Like for me, I like fashion, I like different clothes, I like looking good, but sometimes I'll look at something and I'll be like, maybe I shouldn't wear that. I don't want to draw too much attention to myself, But then on the other hand, I want to look good. So it's like, that happy medium. I don't know. But at the end of the day, introverts attract a lot of attention and energies, and we just want strangers to know we're not stepping out the house like that on purpose. Like, we're not purposely being like, all right, I'm going to come out here and demand attention. No, we're just trying to go on about our day and mind our own business. Number 4, introverts are often in a rush. This is important for strangers to know because a lot of times, because introverts are in a rush, we may come off as rude or standoffish. And sometimes it is that way, unfortunately. But speaking for most introverts, it's not on purpose, and we're trying to do better. We don't like to be out and about. So if we find ourselves being out and about, it's usually due to an emergency. We ran out of tissue, we need gas right away for the next day, and we just remembered. Whatever the case may be, if we're out and about, we're in a rush because we're trying to get back home as soon as possible. And this usually seems to happen the most when we're recharging. We're trying to relax, and then all of a sudden, we realize that is the last roll of tissue. And now we gotta go to the grocery store to get some more. Gotta get dressed or put on something that's halfway decent, get in, get out, and get back to our recharging. Oftentimes, when we find ourselves in this situation, we figure, hey, since we're already out, we might as well do X, Y, and Z so that we don't have to come back out and do this again. If we go to the grocery store for tissue, most likely we're going to stay and get X, Y, Z so that we don't have to be back at the grocery store. And then while we're out, we figure, okay, we might as well fill up our gas. And then while we're out, we might as well maybe get an oil change because it's time and we've been putting it off. Or maybe we need to go get that dress to go to that social event that we wasn't sure if we was gonna go to or not, but maybe if we get the dress, then we can go. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, now that we have all of these things to do, we're trying to get in and out as quick as possible. And then at the end of all of that, we know we're probably gonna be too tired to cook. Now we gotta go and get something to eat. And so it's just like errand after errand after errand when we wasn't expecting that. But since we were out, we figure let's just get it done. So introverts want strangers to know we're really not trying to be rude, but we are in a rush. Number 5, introverts hate small talk. If you've seen my other videos and read my blog, you know that I talk about this one and a few others as well. Introverts don't like small talk. We love and crave scintillating conversations. We want to know more than about how your day is going, yada yada. And so if you approach an introvert, obviously you're not going to know they're an introvert right away, but if you're approaching somebody who's alone and having a good time alone, just kind of measure it out and kind of see possibly if they might be an introvert. Bottom line, come to a conversation with more to say than just how's your day type stuff. Like, yeah, you can start that off, but you'll be able to tell right away if you're speaking with an introvert. If they respond with short, maybe one-word answers, then you'll know. That will be your cue to kind of engage in a deeper conversation, maybe something random that you've been wanting to talk about. Like, it may seem random to you, but everything's going to be random. We're strangers, right? Really get an introvert talking and engaged in conversation, and who knows, you might have a new friend by the end of it. Number 6, introverts want to be left alone. If you see us out in public, like I was saying before, we don't like small talk. Most likely we're out because we have to be, and if we are out, we want to be, and we want to be left alone. And so if you see someone just sitting and it looks like they're having a good time, they're reading a book, or maybe they're really enjoying their meal, or they're just people watching and it looks like they're okay, just leave them be. Like, unless you have something really valuable to say, just leave us alone. Most likely we're only out of the house because maybe there's chaos at the house, or we just need another area, another scenery to get some peace. And so we want to be alone, and we're okay with being alone. I know there are some people who, when they go out, they see other people and they think, oh, that person's alone, maybe I can offer some company. Stop doing this, especially with introverts. We like to be alone, and we don't care anything about the company. Unless you like me, you think I'm cute, you're trying to get to know me and be my friend, then okay, I welcome your company. But if you're just trying to offer your company because you think that we need it, we don't. We're good. Lastly, number 7. People drain introverts. I have mentioned this other times before as well. We're drained by people. That's just, at the end of the day, that's how it goes. Strangers or not, people drain us. And that's why we prefer to be alone, especially if we're in a constant state of recharging, trying to get our gas up, trying to get our energy up. So when we're out and about, we're in a rush, we don't want to do small talk, we want to be left alone, and if we're not able to do those things, now we're grumpy. And I have mentioned that as well in my video, 8 Things Introverts Wish Their Friends Knew. Introverts are grumpy when they don't get to recharge. And so it's best to just let an introvert be an introvert. If you can't tell that person's an introvert, the surefire way to tell is if an introvert is giving you short, quick answers, then you can kind of gauge like, okay, this person is either an introvert or they really just don't want to talk to me in general. And that's okay. You could say, have a good day, and then just be on about your way. But we really want strangers to know that unless you're trying to bring good vibes and extra energy to boost us up, then we're okay. The largest takeaway here is that introverts are not trying to be rude, we just prefer to be left alone. So instead of feeling offended or trying to force conversation when that person clearly doesn't want to engage in conversation, just let it be what it is. Tell an introvert to have a good day and try not to take it personal. I am in no way trying to justify the way that introverts are and to justify the things that we do. Just trying to shed some light and some understanding so that you as strangers know not to take it so personal. Introverts are great people. And we really do care about the people that are in our lives and the people that are trying to be in our lives. And so we just want strangers initially to understand kind of the first steps on understanding what an introvert is all about. So there you have it, 7 things introverts wish strangers knew based on my own introverted experiences. Until next time, thanks for watching.